right, it is now 6:42. Again, we continue to track Dorian throughout the morning. Although, Hunter, you were saying earlier, tracking has been pretty easy because it's just not moving.
I mean, the movement is literally stationary, still at the latest update, and it's still a major hurricane. But we've been watching our sky cams this morning. This is actually a look at a serene ocean in Brunswick, Georgia, but there are hurricane watches posted for all of the Georgia coastline and then the southern portions of the coastline just to the north of Jacksonville and south of Brunswick, actually under a tropical storm warning. So this will likely not be the same look as we head Wednesday into the day on Thursday, as slowly but surely this is going to move up to the north. And that will be great news for Grand Bahama Island, which has been just hour after hour receiving wind, rain, and surge from Dorian that has moved very little over the last day. Still, it's a Cat 3. Winds are at 120 miles per hour, and as I mentioned, amazing, the movement is still stationary. But later through the day today, a slow trip to the north will begin. This will likely parallel the Florida coastline, parallel the Georgia coastline, but keep the center of Dorian just offshore. And that's good news, but remember, it is not just a little dot on the map. This is a real storm system, so the wind, rain, and storm surge will extend to parts of the immediate coastline. You can see where hurricane warnings have been posted for parts of Florida. The yellow here is a tropical storm warning between Brunswick and Jacksonville, and then a hurricane watch that goes up towards the Savannah area. Eventually, this will swing up to the northeast, but this is going to be a close call for parts of South Carolina and North Carolina. We'll be watching the Outer Banks as we head late in the week, and notice even to 2 a.m. Thursday morning, the Hurricane Center has this as a major Category 3 hurricane with winds of 115 miles per hour. So probability of winds over 40 miles per hour. The good news, again, is that the highest likelihood is off the coast where the center of the storm will be, at least as it moves north from the coastlines of Florida into Georgia. But notice still for places like Savannah and Jacksonville, we're talking 59% in Savannah, 66% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds. In Jacksonville, for Macon, it's only at 10%. And again, the takeaway for us here in Central Georgia as we go through FUTUREVIEW is it will be hot and mainly dry to finish out the week. Our breeze will pick up Wednesday and Thursday, but still it's not going to be a big deal for us. If we were talking wind and rain, maybe we'd be a bit more concerned, but just wind gust of 30 miles per hour, we can handle that with no rain. So this afternoon, again, notice it's slowly lifting north, and it's going to remain offshore of Florida. However, it is very, very close, so the immediate coastline especially is getting the effects with wind, rain, and storm surge just on the outer edge of that. As we head later into the day on Wednesday, notice this is moving north of Jacksonville. It's off the coastline of Georgia. Wind, rain, and storm surge for parts of the Georgia coastline. But here in Central Georgia, we have a 10% chance of rain. In fact, you may not really think about this, but on the left-hand side of these storms, the air is actually sinking. So it's called subsidence. So that means hot and mainly dry weather for us. We head into the day on Thursday, and notice this continues its drift up to the north. And it's going to be a close call from South Carolina up to the Outer Banks of North Carolina, where we'll see if maybe getting farther north, the center of what's left of Dorian could maybe move on shore. So that will be something that we're watching closely to finish out the week. I mentioned the breezy conditions for us. Keep an eye on our wind gust as we head Wednesday into Thursday. Wednesday afternoon, we could be upwards of 25 miles per hour. Again, it's breezy, but not a big deal at all. We head into very early Thursday morning. Vidalia is gusting up close to 35 miles per hour. But again, without any rain, that's not going to be a big issue for us. It's just going to be hot and it's going to be breezy. Friday, we're at 95. Over the weekend, we go mainly dry, mid to upper 90s, about 97 for the afternoon high on Saturday. Much more weather coming up later in the show.